Marcus McGhee? The UFC are not giving Yan the respect he deserves, bro. And now that I look back at his record, I realise how many times the UFC have done things similar to this. They're acting like Yan ain't, one of the top 3 best bantamweights of all time. I don't even know what happened, man. Let's just go back in time. Let's start all the way back at UFC 252, where Yan wins the bantamweight title via a finish over Jose Aldo in the 5th round. It's all good, happy days, he wins the title. 8 months later, the number 1 contender Aljamain Sterling gets a shot at the title. And as I'm sure we all know, Yan loses the belt for the first time in UFC history via disqualification.
And new UFC.
That's not the way I want to win. That's not the way I.
Shut your.
An unfortunate ending. But I gotta say, people hate Aljo because of this, but honestly, I actually rate it. Like, he was losing quite comfortably, he probably knew that, and that was the last resort, man. It was on a silver platter for him, bro. And then obviously pretending to cry in the post-fight interview, yeah, man, Oscar worthy. Anyway, Yan gets the rematch, rightly so, for UFC 267, but then Aljo breaks his neck. So with that fight completely off the card now, yeah, Yan saves this fight by taking Sandhagen on short notice for the interim championship, bro. Risking it all. If he loses this, he's not getting the title shot. But luckily for him, he did win 49-46 pretty comfortably, and he did get that interim championship. He then rematches Aljo and loses via an extremely close split decision. Many people actually thought Yan won this fight. So after that extremely close, borderline robbery fight that Yan had with Aljo the second time, he then gets matched up against Sean O'Malley. Now you may be thinking, bro, what do you mean Sean O'Malley's a good fight? He literally became the champion after this fight. Yeah, no, but Sean O'Malley was number 11 ranked, bro. So for Yan, this was an extremely high risk fight with little reward, but he took the fight anyway. He then loses this fight in an absolute utter robbery. There's actually no other word for it, to be honest. Yeah, it was a close fight, right? I think Sean probably did win one round. There is a case for Yan winning every round, though. There's no way he lost this fight, man. After that, he then gets fed to Merab, which, he got absolutely demolished, but fair enough. Merab was the number 3 ranked contender, Yan was the number 2 ranked contender, so this is a fair fight. A win over Merab probably would have gotten Yan the title shot, but then yeah, obviously he loses this fight, and he's on a 3-fight losing streak. Now look, obviously, arguably 2 of those were robberies, but at the end of the day, a 3-fight losing streak is a 3-fight losing streak. So obviously he's going to have to fight down in the contenders now, and he gets a fight against Song Yadong. I do actually think this was a completely fair matchup. Song Yadong was the number 7 ranked guy. It was a close fight, but obviously Yan prevailed. He then gets matched up against Figueiredo, which again, I guess is a fair matchup. Obviously, Figgy was the number 6 guy, so yeah, I would say it's a fair matchup. It was a decent challenge, but Yan absolutely demolishes him with one of his cleanest performances of all time. Now, before we go on to Yan's next matchup, I want you guys to remember that Corey Sandhagen, a guy that Yan's already easily beaten, will likely get a title shot against Merab due to his win over Figgy. He's only on a 1-fight win streak, remember that, yeah? The Figgy that Corey beat was the Figgy after he got demolished by Yan. So an even worse version of Figgy. So keeping that in mind, that Corey is getting a title shot via a win over a worse Figgy than the one that Yan beat, who does Yan get? A fight against Marcus McGhee.
Like, are you serious right now?
For those of you that don't know, and I'm sure many of you probably haven't even heard of this guy. If you search him up on Google, he's not even...
Who the f*** is that guy?
But yeah, basically, he's the number 13 ranked bantamweight. He's 35 years old. He's only had 4 fights in the UFC, and he got ranked by beating Jonathan Martinez. And this guy is getting a fight against the number 2 ranked former champion who's on the verge of a title shot, and somehow he's finessed his way into this situation. Like, what does Yan gain out of this, bro? It's just like the O'Malley fight. It's such a high risk for such a low reward. Now, to be fair, I'm sure that if Yan wins this, he will get the title shot. But I think he's already done enough to get the title shot. Put it like this, yeah? If Corey deserves it, Yan definitely deserves it. Now, I know what you guys are going to be saying, well, Yan already got demolished by Merab, and I guess that's true, but when someone deserves a title shot, they deserve a title shot. And yeah, man, hopefully Yan wins this and then he gets the next title shot. Obviously he will still get crucified, but it's about the principle, innit? To be fair, yeah, if I was Yan, I would be annoyed, but I guess he's a better man than me. At least he ain't going out there and, you know, being a little brat begging for a title shot like these other idiots. I actually did just make a video about this, so I think you guys should really just go check it out right now. Bro, the UFC fans really got robbed of this fight. This would have been an amazing fight between Yan and Umar. They've already been talking to each other as well. The UFC just never makes the fights that need to happen, bro. They actually just do not care about, you know, making... I swear they're losing money by doing this fight with Marcus McGhee, bro. They should do this fight with Umar versus Yan, 2 Russians as well. It would be sick, but they're just not doing it. But oh well, what can we even expect from the UFC nowadays? Anyway, that's about it for this video. You guys let me know in the comment section down below whether you agree, whether you disagree. Tell me your thoughts about this. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you get notified every time I upload. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Safe.